Hey everyone, Tech Steve here, and welcome back to the channel. So today, we're going to take a look at this OREI HDA 935, and it serves two purposes. First of all, the first purpose is that it is a three-way switcher. It supports 4K at 60 frames per second. So for example, if you have three sources, like over here, I have an Apple TV, I have a PS5, and I have an Xbox Series X, it's going to allow me to take any of those sources and switch through them to one display, which here I have a 60 hertz monitor. The second purpose is that you can actually have multiple outputs. So you have an eARC output that can go over to your soundbar, another eARC that can go over to your television, plus it has 3.5 millimeter and fiber optic output. So it gives you so many different options. If that's something that's for you guys, let's jump right into it so I can tell you guys all about it and show you guys some demos. This is the OREI HDA 935. It's a HDMI 2.1 eARC audio extractor. Now, HDMI 2.1 is for 60 hertz on this particular adapter, but we're going to get out of the box so I can show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you some different ways that you can set it up. In the box, you get this user's manual, a 5-volt power connection, and it does use a USB end. You get this 3.5 male connection to a RCA female connection adapter. It comes with a remote control, so you can select through the different inputs. And then we get this HDA 935, which basically allows you to run one input on the front of it here. And then you have all these different configurations. So if I press this little switch on the top, you can see it's going through my inputs. And then you have your different audio formats if you want to force it. There's another button on the back. You can see I can press that and force these different configurations. On the back of it, we have that selector button I just showed you for the audio. There's that DC input. And then this is the audio output that works with that adapter that I showed you guys just a minute ago. So you can plug this in right there. Then there's a fiber optic output, a eARC for a soundbar, or eARC for a TV. And then there's your other two inputs. There's also some screw holes so you can mount it on the wall. And then there's some rubberized feet. So if you happen to set it on the table, it's going to make it a little bit harder to move around. And this is how I currently have it set up. I have this monitor going over to the TV output. I have input 2 going over to the PS5, input 3 going over to the Xbox, and then I have the Apple TV plugged into input 1 right here. Now, I'll give you example number 1. You can see that I have it running on the Apple TV with Disney Plus. And the great thing is that it still allowed my HDR10 to go through and my Dolby Atmos. And as I switch to different movies, you can see it does also support the pass-through for IMAX, 4K Ultra HD, Dolby Vision, and everything that you need. And looking through the menu of the Apple TV, you can see it does support 4K HDR, and it also supports your 422 chroma. Next, let's switch over to the PS5. All right, so let's take a look at this. And if we go into the settings and go down to where it shows screen and video, and if you look at the video information output, it does support your 4K, your HDCP 2.3, it doesn't support VRR on this display, but I have tested on televisions. It will work just fine, and it does support your HDR as well. Another trick I want to show you guys, if you want to get the best sound, just go into your settings under sound, go down to audio output, and then right here where it says TV on the screen right there, you just want to go and click on that and move it to AV amplifier. By doing this, we can then go down to the number of channels, and we can select up to 7.1. But make sure that 7.1 is also selected on the adapter so you can get the best sound quality. Next, we're going to select it again to go over to the Xbox. And from the Xbox menu, let's go into settings and see what options we have in here. Now you can see that it does see the 4K. And again, this is not a Dolby Vision monitor or anything, but it will support it. And under video modes, the low latency and the variable refresh rate is supported, but not on a monitor like this. And if we go back to the volume and audio settings, we want to click on that. And then we can go in here where it says Dolby Atmos. Now I'm going to show you how you can get the 7.1 out of your devices. So right now, you can see where we have volume and audio outputs. And if I press on it, see, these are only options that you see on the screen. But what I'm going to do is go over to the HDA 935 and make sure that it's in the 7.1 channels. The screen's going to flicker. Now when I click on it, I have all of these options right here. You have 5.1, 7.1, DTS, Dolby Atmos for home theater, and headset mode. So this adapter basically pulls all of that information out of the HDMI and make it match up with the Xbox to give you better controls. It matches up with the Xbox to give you better audio. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add a soundbar and run the cable into the Earc input. Now I have this Dolby Atmos soundbar connected. Let's check out the volume. Now, some people have been asking me about 2 soundbars. Let's check it out. So I can go and turn this one up a little bit. And for the second one, I took a fiber optic output and I ran it into the back of this. And the great thing is, this is going to allow you to have a soundbar over here, a soundbar over there, or audio system, and you can play the audio at the same exact time. And again, that's something you guys have been asking me about. We got audio on this one too. So let's play the game a little bit. Love it. And some other specs for you guys besides the 4K and 60 Hertz, that if you're going to use Dolby Atmos, you need to have HDMI 2.1 cables. It will support the DTS, Dolby True Surround. And with the remote control, you can press the power button and it would power down all your devices. I also want you guys to know, if you hook it up to the Earc on your television, that the audio coming out of the built-in applications will go to adapter and send sound to all your speakers that are connected to the device. Another feature that's handy about the HD 935 is this little remote control that I showed you guys earlier. You can press 1 through 3 and go directly to your source. The previous model that they had, basically you had to press the button on top of it over and over again. So now you can go directly. Now it is normal that you will see a 3 to 10 second blank screen, and it's because the device is actually adjusting your input with your monitor so it gets the best picture quality. If you guys want to learn more, I'll leave all the links in the description below. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace! Tech Steve.